In a sleek, state-of-the-art lab nestled in the hills of Silicon Valley, Altos Labs hummed with quiet intensity. The company, funded by some of the world's wealthiest individuals, had a singular mission to defeat aging. Their scientists were some of the most brilliant minds on the planet, pooling their expertise in biology, genetics, and medicine to achieve what humanity had dreamed of for centuries: stopping the clock. Ilara Chen, one of Altos Labs' lead researchers, stood before her latest breakthrough. She gazed at the glowing vial in her hands, a concentrated version of Rapamycin, a drug originally discovered in the soil of Easter Island. Once used to prevent organ rejection in transplant patients, Rapamycin had shown unexpected potential in animal studies to extend life, slow aging, and rejuvenate cells. For decades, the scientific community debated its power. Was this the key to not just treating diseases of aging but to altering the very course of human life? At Altos Labs, they were no longer debating, they were on the brink of making it a reality. Chen and her team had spent years refining the drug. Early trials showed that, in combination with their proprietary gene editing technology, Rapamycin could push human cells to remain youthful, bypassing the cellular aging process that typically led to wrinkles, fatigue, and the diseases of old age.
But the big question lingered: could they safely replicate these results in humans? The pressure was enormous. Investors were pouring billions into the project, eager for the promise of eternal youth.
Chen wasn't interested in immortality for vanity's sake. Her mother had died of Alzheimer's just a few years earlier. Watching her mother slip away, losing memories of her family and herself, had given Chen a deeper purpose. She wanted to create a future where people could age without fear, without losing their minds and bodies to the ravages of time. Today, that future seemed within reach. Chen stepped into the lab's main testing area, where their first human trial subject, a 75-year-old man named Harold, sat waiting. Harold had volunteered because he had nothing left to lose. A decorated war veteran, his body had been worn down by decades of hard work, and he was living with a terminal cancer diagnosis. When he heard about the trials at Altos, he saw an opportunity, not just for himself, but for humanity.
I don't care if it's too late for me. If this helps someone else, maybe my life can mean something more.
Weeks passed and Harold returned for his checkups. At first, nothing seemed different, but soon, the signs began to show. His skin, once sallow and thin, appeared to regain its elasticity. His energy levels improved. Most shocking of all, a scan revealed that his cancer was shrinking, reversing at a rate the doctors had never seen. By the end of 3 months, Harold looked and felt like a man 20 years younger.
The news of Harold's transformation sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Altos Labs had done the impossible, or so it seemed.
As more subjects entered the trial and experienced similar results, the company knew they had uncovered something extraordinary. But Dr. Chen remained cautious. She knew the drug's effects could have long-term consequences they couldn't yet predict. Would the cells eventually turn cancerous from being kept in a perpetually youthful state? What were the psychological effects of extending life far beyond the normal span? And most importantly, who would have access to this technology? Would it become the luxury of the ultra-rich, or could it be made available to everyone? As Altos Labs prepared to release their findings to the world, Chen stood at the crossroads of history. They had found a way to slow down time, perhaps even cheat death itself, but in doing so, they had opened Pandora's box. Would humanity be ready for the next chapter in its evolution?